All right, this is another uh, testimonial. Like I said, last night it was disgusting the way they were bringing up, and unfortunately, if you've seen my last video, you understand this the same patterns of tormenting. They use these bottom feeders that are contracted by these government entities to torment you. I was listening to this trash. They use these scriptive things they say over and over and over. Right now they call me, you are pedo, because I call them pedophiles for the things they force people to experience. And the fact that they work for entities filled with pedophiles and they do the pedophilia type of torture. Matter of fact, last night, the dreams, the conditioning, typical nasty pedophilia things they do. That's what they do. These people are in a world where pedophilia is used as a tool to break people down. So you gotta understand that people that within this world of disturbingness, they don't want to think too much about their future, because that's a very much something they don't know, something that's still to be determined. But they obviously know the things they do to people is gonna come back to them. They are pedophiles for the things they do to people. And the whatever scripts and repetitiveness of what they say, it's not going to change that. They're not any better than, they are the same, they do the same things. It's not going to change. For me, they're like, oh, you are pedophiles. They work for pedophiles, they do the pedophilia type of torture, and they are pedophiles for what they do. Then they say they're there. This is something, it's all the repetitions to kind of drive you a little insane. But you see them in person and they think that this persona they try to create as is gonna work, and it's like, oh, don't just please don't, because I know too much about what you guys do. Forget about just what they do to me, but the fact that I know what they do to people and how coward-like these people are. The fact that even children can do what they do. Do you understand that? For me, it's beyond what I see them as. The low-lifeness as I see them, the cowardness of what they are is something that on earth there is something that could not be that coward. And so I noticed that they're like that we see the future, because everything in my life is going to be orchestrated. Everything I'm experiencing is something that's been orchestrated in advance for me to experience. I feel like as target individuals, once you put in this program, every portion of our life is put together in this misery. But they have no idea how this life of theirs is going to end. They don't know none of that. They just better continue and forget about it, try to block it out. But of course, they also down inside, they know it's going to come back. And it's funny, like, for me, they try to, another new term they like to repeat is like, oh, we feel bad because the bad things are going to happen to me. We're talking about trash contracted by the government that does these things to some of the most vulnerable people, right? So they obviously say that to agitate you, because do you care if they feel bad? No. Matter of fact, I would rather them live their life for the rest of their life. These pedophiles, and they know when I see them and I call one of them, you're just a bunch of pedophiles. They don't understand what I'm saying. Yesterday, there was this thing, and even this morning they kept bringing that up and try to change and manipulate, and because something I started doing maybe mid 2022 is taking screenshots of what they were doing to me. Before that, I was just like making like reality check, basically talking about what they were doing to me, but I was not like taking the screenshot of what they were like manipulating me to experience in certain ways. And one thing is just some random thing. There was this like music video, and this kid, kind of chubby, not even chubby, just a little bit big, a little bit of stomach fat, just typical 9-year-old or something. This little girl, she has like this little girl dress, and she's on her knees and like using the chalk to draw on the street or whatever. And she has a little bit of belly fat, so she has little rolls on her stomach, right? They try to like create something sexual and just make me imagine one of those rolls is part of her private area. It's so disgusting. And then try to make me think, oh, remember when you were like a kid playing mom and dad with this other kid who's like a year younger than you? Remember she was kind of fat and just... And it's disgusting. And it's like, no, that's not her role. Ugh. Now listen, this is what these bottom feeders are contracted to be doing to people. That's why when you ask them, do you know how your future is going to look like? This is what they do. That's why I'm like, feel bad or don't feel bad, please continue to live this life. This is the humiliating life that these trash have to live. And they find satisfaction and they're waiting for you, they're going to torture you because one of those that weren't there is now one of her roles. So sad. And then try to make me imagine and think about this kid's stomach, like lower stomach and stomach fat and whatever, and try to create some disturbing things. And it's like, oh, we feel bad. It's like, no, you are that. You're a bunch of low-life pedophiles, but that's your assignment. That's what you're assigned to do. That is what you're there to do. That is why you're so brave. Then, after me, let's now think about it. These trash are so low lives and bottom feeders, and it's funny how they just try to, like, the scripts are supposed to agitate you. That's why when I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, say something and see how it goes. And they're like, there is so much. These are all things to agitate because we've done so much to you. We made you like that's. I have almost 1,000 videos, so obviously you understand there's a lot. So we've done so much we've done so much manipulations. It's so much, right? Using the tonality, using the repetitive things to kind of know you and agitate you. That's their job. That is what they live to do. That these people, life, as contracted perps, trash, for these entities to improve this technology, are supposed to do these things to people. And then they die. That is a reality they don't want to stay in. Then they use the terms and try to disorient you because this is the things that need to escape from. These people are trying to forcing people to experience disturbing perception of kids like that, like this kid's stomach, like, and then the low stomach is like, oh, that's not a roll. It's like, disgusting. To torment people. This is the kind of things that are being said to degrade you. Their job is to do this. And they try to use a tonality of like calmness when they say these nasty, sad, pathetic things they do. Pathetic low lives. They are pathetic. I'm just glad that I was not contracted somehow and found myself contracting having to say things like that. That's not a role. Oh, they're gonna rape you. I'm just glad I didn't have to live that life. This is embarrassing. It's humiliating. But that's what target individual. Unfortunately, we became subjects in this human experimentation wherein everything about us is being changed and manipulated and tormented and turned into something disturbing and forcing us to experience these most disturbing thoughts and imaginations, and your body is being destroyed. Obviously, my back, my shoulders, my muscles. This is all what this technology is capable, and I'm just a subject. My brain is a subject. My body is a subject. My organs are subjects to all that. Something that I definitely would never want to be part of. But these people contracted to implement these human experimentations on people. This trash, which we call perps, that are around you, that are saying all the degrading stuff, that are saying descriptive things. This is the biggest humiliating lifestyle to be living in. I'd rather be homeless, dying of hunger and thirst outside, than being in a comfortable apartment, house, whatever they are, office, doing this nasty low lifeness for the sole purpose to break people down. There's nothing like I'd rather die. And these people, they try to live off the sophistication of the technology because they know what I'm gonna say before I say it. But these people have to say these nasty things. I'm okay. I don't want to know what you have to say, what you're gonna say next. I just thank God I want to say, oh, that's not a role. It's you. You are happy though. Thank God I didn't have to do that. It's disgusting, but it's good for them. I don't want them to feel bad. Now I know what's gonna happen for me. It's gonna be bad things. Because I'm not subscribing to these things. I know it's them. That's why I make almost thousands of videos like this is what they did again. This is what they do. It's like, oh, we have so much. This is something they did again. This is what it's like, oh, we have more. And so because I'm not subscriptive to what they're forcing me to experience, what do you think is gonna happen? Yes. They're gonna try to torture you to feel like you should identify to these things. They're truly trying to paint it like, no, this is our study. We do this thing. It's like we're just studying you. We're studying you. We're saying you like, yeah, no, you are experimenting on me. Yes, I'm a subject, and you have to break me down. This is part of the experimentations. Experience. This is part of experimentation. That's it. You work on it. Weapon. A weapon system, a weapon tool, a weapon device. And one of the ways you are experimenting on people is by breaking them down psychologically. To, I guess, see what, since it's a weapon, I'm sure they want to know how the brain is going to react to all the disturbing degradations. Oh, this works better. Oh, this, and then they can play with you even more and more and more and more to break you down. And the sophistication of this technology is unbelievable. You hear these people who's talking. These people, that's why they change subject when I talk about their future. Some of them talk about 10 years from now they'll die, or something's going to happen to them. Some of them, I swear, they don't sound like adults. So you tell me these perps, they know they're gonna die before they even hit 30? Yeah, it's so pathetic. I'll never let them live their fantasy. And the reason why I make this testimonial as much as it's training is because it put things back in perspective. I'm so tempted to just go into like all the videos so I can and show that, because once you see what I'm talking about, it will be so embarrassing. It will be so humiliating, because in my mind, what they try to create versus reality is just so sad. To try to force a man or woman to see things this ways and perceive things in this way is disgusting. And them try to use these different scripts to try to break you down. These people who do these things systematically to even children, they're delusional. But they have to, because this is what their job is, this assignment. They're supposed to force men and women to break down by using this pedophile type of tormenting. Their job is to use these protocol tactics while doing these things to the brain. Tonalities, repetitive terms, to agitate you. These trash are nasty. Some of the way they break people down is also using this technology that can rape remotely. Yes, I've honestly, I felt sometimes like my rectum, I'm sorry to be graphic, for some reason was like inflating internally. Like something was just expanding in my rectum muscle. Right? I could feel like something just like a balloon was inside. Like I'm sorry for the graphicness, but I felt that. They obviously play with my libido so much. It's so disgusting. So much that I found myself having to find ways to let it out. Yesterday, after a shower, my testicles were in pain because they were so like, they were stimulating them so much. And then today, like, because there's this chubby kid with the rolls that they try to, it's not a roll, something else there. It's so sad. So disgusting. They would try to stimulate me so much that I ended up having to watch adult content to release some of this trash. And you hear this bottom feeder next door. There are perps around here. They open and they say the things. That content. It's like, please understand, they could never be seen without being seen for what they are at this point. There is no way you can look at yourself. There's no way they can be seen, and I will not see them for what they're part of. Trash, coward lowlifes, pedophiles that do these nasty, disturbing things to even children. I remember when sometimes it's actually kids. I remember this kid. She started trying to whisper next to me. I turned, I was like, don't even, sorry my language, don't even fucking try. She stopped. And she just kept walking. She's like, don't even don't, please. I don't. She stopped and just started walking. It's like, yep. Don't, like, she wanted to leave because they can use these childlike individuals. They don't understand that, oh, he actually knows what this thing is about. When you try to talk yourself, oh, we know. Tonality. Try to agitate the target individual, to degrade him, to agitate him. It's part of the stress tactics, to break down. He knows that. You're making yourself sound like this. You're literally trying to be like a child. Hey, we know. And then try to agitate and disorient somebody. You are forcing yourself to sound like this. You understand? So these people sometimes, especially the kids, because they don't understand that a person on this really sees them for what they're part of. They know you're supposed to sound like this. You're supposed to say these things. He knows these things is force. It's the manipulation. He knows there's a subject in this human experimentation where they break him down using these nasty pedophile things. He knows that. So they don't understand. So they try to come next to me and try to say in certain ways. I'm like, don't fucking do it. And it's like the snapping back in reality. Oh, okay, yeah. Remotely we'll do that. I regret, there's certain times I regret not saying something. I used to ignore them, but I remember before the elevator closed, this person, for me, they have this psyop of like, with this progressive group of feminists like individuals, and I was like, ugh, it was BS. And there was this like white woman, young, like late 20s, maybe early 30s, and she was like, before the elevator, because I'm very passive. I'm not an aggressive individual. And she'll like use the voice, and you're gonna be in fear, you're gonna be scared, and like in front of me. And I'm just ignoring it. It's like, because at this point I'm like, you're just a clown. Look at this trash. She's like, you're gonna be in fear, they're gonna be so scared. And I'm looking at her, and then I'm just ignoring her. And she just walks away kind of mad and just walk away. Now, if she does that, I was like, I was like, because she was waiting for the elevator to close, right? And she was outside, not going inside. Now what we'll do is like, sorry, you tell me I'm gonna, like I will say like, sorry, you're whispering something. Are you saying I'm gonna be fearful? Are you gonna be like, she would. And yes, I want to maintain passive. I do not want to be aggressive, but there's too much association when I see them to everything else, not only they do to me, but to others much more vulnerable than me. When they do these nasty things, knowing that these entities are filled with pedophiles, these agencies are just pedophilia-centric mecca, where there's a bunch of pedos in these agencies, it's just unbelievable. Knowing that they do the pedophile type of torture, which I already know, which I know they torture children, which I know they force you to perceive these things. You have this, oh my gosh, you have all of that, and you know they do what they do to women, home, and you see this trash start to play this. You want to snap. You want to, it's like, it's too much. You guys, You guys, I'm associating too much evilness. Too much. Like evil. And cowardness at the same time. It's like there's evil where they just do horrible things to you, but they do horrible things to you in the most cowardly ways too. And they are almost like there is too much of cowardness, of evilness in what they do. And it's not to me only, it's to what in general what they do. They do nasty things. And you see them for that. No matter how normalized they're trying to and try to make it like just this normal. You have that has broken away. They try to normalize these things, and no, because I've been listening to so many testimonials and so much horribleness that this normalization they've tried to create in front of me is just been erased, and I see them just through weak, low-life, bottom-feeders, cowards, opportunists, trash, pedophiles that just so weak and just low-lifeness that try to block out everything, that torture even babies sexually with the tonality of whatever they try to use. You molest. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know what you guys do to kids. They torture kids sexually. Like I told you that I felt like my rectum, like a balloon. What do you think they do to kids? There's kids saying that the testimony of little girls, 4, 5, 7-year-old, autistic-year-old kids, little boys, 3 years old, testicles in pain, grabbing their genitals, looking up, whoa. This is trash molesting them. So you think I'm gonna, and when they try to use this terminology, this tonality to try to like agitate me, I was like, I know, you're literally forcing yourself to sound this way. You understand? What are you screaming? It's not a role. God, disgusting. In my head, they're trying to create battles. Like, oh, remember when you and when you were a kid playing mom and dad with the other kid, and like we're like humping each other as kids do. It's retarded. I'm sorry, that's the best way I can describe this. This is just the retardation of these people's life. Tell my target individual, this is pathetic. And then they're like, oh, they're going away from you. So to anything, to all my target individual, whatever is going to happen to me, I got to find this as a dignified situation. Even though I'm going to endure some horribleness, they tell me how slow I'm going to die. They don't know how they're going to die. I'm like, do you guys know how fast you're going to die? You don't? Okay. But I understand that's the kind of things they say. And I believe it. I do believe that my death is not going to be easy. But I couldn't live like them. And they don't even know how easy their death is going to be. They don't even want to think about the future. Their future. They know everything on how I'm going to scream, I'm going to be in pain, I'm going to be this is going to be this. They know nothing about what's going to happen to them. And tell me how slow I'm going to die. How fast are you going to die then? What they do? Go into the scripts, the terms. They block it out, disorient me. Oh, there's script, one of the is part of the repetitive terms / tonality videos. Like they say that every time when I bring that up to try to get like stay in that like ways of thinking. These trash are low lives. See them for what they are. As you heard Robin Duncan, they try to psyop you into accepting something that's falsified. The psyop is to try to present themselves as something else. Tonality is part of it. Scripts, repetitions, saying things over and over. While your brain, the V2K is just like rewiring your brain. They're not aliens. They're not demons. They're not kids that play with Xbox. They might contract kids like to be involved in it, but they're just like, they're like like they're like a like I don't know, like a little thing on the wall. Like they're just nothing. They're not gonna. They're not gonna like this. Like they're just nothing. But you see them truly for what they are, not the psyop. See them for this psyop, this low life that do these things where they force people to experience this thing and then disorient them, and then they call you nothing. I'm like, okay, I'd rather be a nothing than whatever you are. There's honor in my death, in this death. There's dignity. There's just cowardness, evilness, nastiness, bottom feederness in the life these people live. I don't care if they live lavishly, eat, have great jobs, very fit, can run around, can jump around, can lift some, like can do push up. Like there is cowardice. There's no self-respect in that. So I understand. The bigger picture is I'm a subject. They are implementing this human experimentation, which they implement in many others, and they use this disturbing ways to break people down for the purpose of developing this technology even more than it is, which is extremely easy. But they need more and more and more and more subjects, which they're gonna do the same tactics of breaking them down. Just like a database, you need more data. The more data, the better it gets. The more but it's already filled with a lot of it's already I'm just one of very there's so many. They're already so far ahead. I'm just one. It's like I'm like a drop in the little in a bucket of already a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood already. My blood is gonna be added. There's gonna be more blood. There's gonna be and they're gonna continue to get this thing better and better and better. And they're gonna use the same tactics. They're gonna use the same torment. They need brains from men, women, children. Do these nasty things to them, and break them down. I see the bigger picture. I understand that. If I don't want to dehumanize myself, but that's what it's truly about. And these bottom feeders are just this trash, these tools that they use to implement these things. That's the reality. That's what they talk the same ways, or they're gonna repetitions and everything else. And you, as a target individual, as a subject, just do not subscribe to this nastiness. Know yourself. Do as much as you can. Fight if you can. Just survive if you can. But one thing is for sure, do not let them leave their eggs, because they're trying to cope with what they're part of. They know what they are. They're just tools. They're just bottom feeders that do these things to people. But they want to create their fantasy for their own ways of coping with reality. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and know that justice will be done.